Now, welcome back. Impeach or don't impeach? That's the question House Democrats are apparently debating right now. And the big sticking point for plenty of Democrats are the political ramifications of impeachment. And there are a lot of lessons, perhaps, that could be learned from the last time there was an impeachment. Democrats talking about whether to impeach Donald Trump. Of course, about 2 decades ago, we had another president who was impeached, and it caused some interesting political consequences. So what could Democrats today learn from what happened to Republicans 2 decades ago when they impeached Bill Clinton? Impeachment, of course, didn't succeed in removing him from office. He was acquitted by the Senate. Well, first of all, where's public opinion right now? You can see the most recent readout is there's opposition to Trump being impeached. 59% opposed, 36% support. You see the support for impeachment has actually dropped in the early months of this year, maybe because some Democratic leaders like Nancy Pelosi have thrown cold water on it. Here's a question. Will the Mueller report, will the fallout from that bring support for impeachment back up, especially among Democrats? But it was a 36-59 right now. With Bill Clinton, it was 24-71 in the fall of 1998. And it was the fall of 1998, October, when the Republican House voted to open an impeachment inquiry toward Bill Clinton, impeachment of Bill Clinton. They voted to open the inquiry in the face of poll numbers like this. And what happened? A month later, in the 98 midterms, the Republicans lost seats. At that point, it was an unprecedented result. The party that wasn't in the White House is always supposed to gain seats in the midterm. Republicans lost. It was so traumatic for them that days later, Newt Gingrich was ousted as the House Speaker. So that's one of the lessons from 98. But here's the thing. Of course, after that election, Republicans went through. They formally impeached Clinton. He got acquitted by the Senate in February 99. And as we know, in the 2000 election, Republicans, for all of that political damage, George W. Bush got himself elected president in 2000. So does that tell Democrats that, hey, look, you can go through an impeachment even if the public doesn't like it in the moment and end up winning the next presidential election? A couple things to keep in mind. Of course, it was 21 months between the acquittal of Bill Clinton in February 99 and the 2000 election. Clinton himself could not run in 2000. It was left to Al Gore. Al Gore kind of put Bill Clinton on the sidelines. Trump's job approval rating, it's much lower than Bill Clinton's was back then. So there are all sorts of variables that are probably very unique to the 2000 election. And the bottom line is this. You're going to hear people saying, don't impeach Trump because of the lessons of 2000. You're going to hear people saying, do impeach Trump because of the lessons of 2000. The truth is, when you start looking at this example, we don't have many impeachment examples to go by, but it's probably a very unique set of circumstances back then and a very unique set of circumstances right now. And you know what? You wouldn't know until it actually happened, if it does happen. Truth is, you can't really read too much in terms of absolute lessons from 2000. But you'll certainly be hearing a lot about it. You already are.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Meet the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.